a lonesome star.
Destiny 2 Forsaken arrived September the 4th this year, following what has had to be one of the most unsatisfying post-launch game plans of the year, and Bungie have got quite a lot to prove right out the gate there. It's me, Jake, with my Superior Fireteam Officer, Mike Williams.
Yo.
How you doing? You right, yeah?
Very good, thanks. Ready for some Destiny.
Destiny is a game we've played together quite a lot, actually, so it makes perfect sense for us to be having this conversation.
Yes.
However, it's been a long 6 months for Bungie. They've been releasing bits of DLC, they've been making promises, they've been breaking promises, they've been holding things
They've
back.
been hearing us.
Yep,
that's important.
That's
they
right.
have been hearing us.
And now it's time to do something about it. And in their own words, they've been holding back the best features for this. Destiny 2 Forsaken, what is it? Is it a full game? No. Is it a little bit of DLC like Warmind? No. It's kind of in between. It's like a big expansion. And I guess the best way to describe it is it's kind of like the Taken King was to Destiny 1. So Mike, what is it?
So the Taken King was a major Taken King was a major expansion for the original Destiny. It was actually the third expansion, so very much in exactly the same mold. There's been 2 smaller expansions, and then the third expansion arrives, and then that signals year 2 for the game. And when the Taken King arrived, it came alongside a massive 2.0 patch, so Destiny 1 became 2.0, version 2.0, which obviously went out to all players, regardless of whether or not you bought the expansion.
Yeah.
And that made fundamental changes, changed the way that leveling worked, added new quest structures and the way that you got things to do. It was very well received, actually, and the actual Taken King expansion itself had a better story, more coherent, easier to latch onto than the base game.
Yeah.
It added a lot of content, a full campaign, new missions, a new enemy faction called The Taken. There was a new PvE location, which was at the Dreadnought. It's this giant spaceship, which was really cool. Just kind of not derelict, but you could like go outside into space a little bit in it. It was really cool. I liked it. And there were PvP maps, the usual stuff, weapons, a new raid. Just the whole package. Probably most memorable though for patching out the voice work of Peter Dinklage, who played the role of Ghost for the first year. He was gone, replaced with Nolan North.
Well,
the voice actor.
So Destiny 2 Forsaken is basically just that for Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Let us know what you thought of this video in the comment section below. No, a lot of things you just said then I didn't know about Taken King because I didn't actually stick around on Destiny 1 for that long.
Yeah.
From what I learned, Taken King did please the people that ended up buying it, although again, this is a point of contention for some players. They are charging for these things, but they do have, alongside the expansions, traditionally free updates to the framework of the game that for people that aren't playing it. So anyway, like I was saying earlier, Bungie have definitely been pissing people off since the game came out, and it's like become a huge thing. Like you said, they've been listening, and in their video reveal of this, they said they've been holding back the big changes and features fans wanted for this,
which is big talk. That's big talk, that.
Yeah, it is, and it's acknowledgement that they are holding back what fans wanted and they're putting it behind an expensive DLC.
Right. That's like saying we kind of know that those other DLC wasn't really what you wanted, but
we've been saving
this one
good
is
shit for this one. So that's good news for the people that are on board and willing to part with more money. I actually heard that and was like, hang on a minute, why isn't anyone talking about this? Because this is a video reveal from a couple of weeks ago, and they definitely said that. Anyway, they are talking a good talk when they mention what's in Forsaken. So let me go into some of the things and we can talk about what this could mean for it. So first of all, it was announced at E3, I believe, when they had a little trailer for what this is, that Cade, the quote-unquote fan favourite, is being killed. You kind of like this idea, not because you disliked him or anything.
No, I'm a big fan of Nathan Fillion. I'm Cade, the character, but they lean on him a lot, and they whenever things are going bad in Destiny, in both meta and like in the game, it's like let's just put Nathan Fillion there. Just write some dialogue. Let's write some snappy lines for Nathan Fillion to say. Let Cade do some cool stuff. They leaned on him heavily with Destiny 2, because they were trying to push this like Marvel Avengers feel for the story and saying, oh, there's much more character and much more charm this time around. You'll know what's going on, and Cade was a big part of that. And he definitely is a fan favorite, I reckon. Not maybe not, obviously not for everyone, but he is like comfortably the biggest, most recognizable character they've got. And he's gets shot in the head in the trailer. So it's kind of not even a spoiler. He gets shot in the face in the promotional material. Which
is a hell of a way to start it off, but also setting the tone. They've outright said that this is going to be like a grittier, darker story Cade's basically been filling this prison full of like the worst, baddest people or whatever, and then it starts off with a prison break. They break out, and then you have to hunt down basically these massive space bellends who've committed loads of crimes, and that's the story. They're called the Barons, and there's 8 of them, and you have to go around killing them all in what are called Baron raids. But that's not all. Where will you be doing that? Well, there's 2 new areas. There's the Tangled Shore, which is like a collection of asteroids. It's full of like space pirates and stuff.
Very Destiny-ish.
Yeah, it's and as you can imagine, when I say like collection of asteroids, you know it's going to be hopping, platform and stuff. Yeah,
jetpacking.
Exactly that. There's World Vendor on there who you see in the reveal, although they didn't announce who he was or anything. But his name's the Spider, and you can kind of trade with him. There's also this other place, which is the one that's kind of been revealed recently. This information isn't all from the reveal that they did. Game Informer have got a whole month of information coming out in August, because obviously September's the release date of this, and if you bought the physical edition of Game Informer this month, then you'll have all of these details. So we're just kind of relaying some of this information for you. So don't worry if you think I'm just going to be rewording the video reveal. I did that a couple of weeks ago, so go and watch that if you want me to do that. So the Dreaming City is the new place we haven't heard much about. It's kind of a big area with room for sparrow riding, and it's about the size of Nessus. So we played Curse of Osiris, right? How did you feel when you found out the additional area Mercury was, well, what it was?
As small as it was?
As small as it was.
It was very disappointing, I've got to say. That is Destiny by nature is quite lightweight in terms of actual content. It's just the nature of the game, I suppose. So when they release these DLC packs and stuff, and you only get something like that, and it just feels like you're not getting value for money, even though there's a lot of care and attention gone into these locations and stuff, and they design these places very carefully. But then when it's as small as that, you kind of go, well, it's not really, is that worth my money? And then that's where the negativity comes from. So
yeah, exactly.
So to put it shortly, put it bluntly, I was disappointed.
Well, this time, like I said, then the size of Nessus is one of the 2 areas you can ride around in that, and it's home of the elves. Which is under threat from a dragon. No,
like all fantasy movies,
you haven't clicked on the wrong video. This is still Destiny 2. A dragon that has infected the heart of the planet. So what's that about? What I find quite interesting is the fact that the Dreaming City you can get to after you finish the Forsaken campaign.
So it's like a tower in the Destiny 2.
Kind of, yeah, but there's a quest that you have to do to unlock it, but apparently the difficulty to get there will be quite high for initial playthroughs. So even though you finish the campaign, there's like a sort of skill gate.
Yeah, there's too much breezing through in Destiny. It needs a bit of grit, I think, so that's good.
So they've added that kind of thing, and the city itself will transform and change from one week to another in a cycle that lasts 3 weeks. Seems pretty interesting. So that's a new place anyway. New enemies now. You mentioned the Taken King had the Taken. This has got the Scorn. So 6 new enemy types, right?
Right. So these are all different. This is an actual genuine.
This is a completely different set of boys. Like,
it's not shadowy Vex. It's not red Cabal. It's actual new.
These are different, and you can see these quite a lot in the VidDoc sort of reveal thing, whatever they call them. VidDoc, never got that.
It's video, innit? It's just video.
A fucking video.
It's a good word, video.
Yeah, VidDoc. It doesn't even sound nice to say. So Destiny 2's freshness factor, I think, gets let down by the fact that it's the same few enemies that you're fighting time and time again. Do you think adding 1 new race is going to make that much of a difference?
I think 100% it will, because what it badly needs it. I'm never going to say, oh, there's no point, because I want to play Destiny and I want to enjoy it, and it needs variety. So I'm 100% happy that there's a new race, and they can do the thing that they've done before as well of just jazzing it up, and they can change that race with like an alternative version of them that behaves a bit differently, and will probably have a couple of surprises in there for you the first time you face them and stuff. So fine, cool.
But so that's the enemy type and the places. Weapons and supers, there's always, this can bog you down, so I'm going to try and sort of not dive too deep into this, because if we start talking about mods for ages, the video will be 50 minutes long. But there's a complete weapon overhaul, and the big standout there is that you can now assign any weapon type to any slot. So if you like sniper rifles like me, you can have a sniper rifle, another sniper rifle, and another sniper rifle. And you can switch out between them. You can do whatever you want, so play it however you want. If you want to go full rockets, full shotguns, or you want to play it like Destiny 1, Destiny 2, you can do that. That is just great. Just options to do whatever you want.
Yeah, it makes complete sense. I don't know, why they ever add anything different, to be honest. It makes total sense. Yeah,
it's fantastic. You can also play with the new weapon archetype, bow and arrow. Remember we talked about that last time a little bit, why you'd have a bow and arrow in a space game. Though we know that there was new supers coming, but now I can confirm that there's 3 new supers for each class. Weapon-wise, that's what we're seeing. It's just more of something that Destiny does have in abundance. It's just guns, isn't it? They've got loads of them.
Loads of guns, yeah, and I think the gun variety is actually really good in it. I'm very happy with the way that in Destiny 2 it expanded it as far as I'm concerned. There's just a lot of different things that behave differently, and they some of them they look differently, but they've got slight stat changes. But then you use them and you realise, oh, hang on a minute, this is actually maybe a couple of points worse than my other gun, but I actually just much prefer the way that this thing handles. And it's like, and there's very nuanced changes in it that and the whole game is about shooting things in the head. So
you have to get the weapons right to you, right?
Yeah, I think they do a good job of like weapon variety generally.
Rather than a weekly reset now, it's every 4 days. So that's a bit of a change. Daily heroic missions are back, and raids are still weekly. There's a new raid coming as well. But yeah, raids are still weekly, and everything else is on a 4-day reset thing now, which is almost half. It's close to half as they can get.
This is what they need. They just need a reason to hook you when you've finished the game, to keep coming back and checking out what's new and what's changed. Upping the frequency is a very basic idea, but as long as they've got plenty of ideas to keep it fresh and varied every week, so you don't feel like you're doing the same thing every 3 resets.
Exactly. It's another thing where you just mentioned people doing the same thing. Some people do want to do the same thing. They do want to do individual strikes, and you kind of couldn't because it was a random playlist. You can now pick individual strikes if you just want to do, you've got a favorite and you just want to run through that. So they added that. More organic approach, whatever that means, that only sounds like a good thing. Almost halving the resets, I think, is pretty cool. And now they've added an additional raid, so I'm quite into that. And it looks like, apart from endgame stuff, the only other way anyone would play it is because they want to shoot other people in the face, right? PvP, great. So Crucible, there's more changes coming to that. There's 4 new maps. They've got a new mode. We talked about that before. And
the big one. 6v6.
6v6. Well, actually, this isn't coming as part of the Forsaken. This is coming in July, so this month. So a full 2 months before, they're bringing that back in. They did trial it in April, and now they're bringing it back. So actually, just before Forsaken, this month. So if you're watching this video and you're interested in what's going to be happening before Forsaken, 6v6 is back. No doubt to test what they need to do so they can make any changes in time.
And make more appropriate maps, I guess, because the maps they would have made would
be quite
4v4, focused. So
it was my favourite thing to come back, especially towards the end. I was really quite into PvP, so lots more maps would be good.
It's good. It's very fun.
Yeah, it is very enjoyable. And 6v6 from the first one was spot on, so I really enjoyed that. Destiny 2 Forsaken has all those features and is out in September. Do you think, rather than Warmind, rather than Curse of Osiris, because this is basically the real second chance, I mean, they're charging you again, almost full price, right? So this is the big opportunity. This was notably the point in Destiny 1's life cycle where things got better. The Taken King. So this is Destiny 2's The Taken King, the Forsaken King, if you want. Do you think that this could salvage Bungie's reputation and get everybody half wanting a Destiny 3, or what?
Bungie's so weird with Destiny because they keep falling into doing the same thing. Like you always think, oh, with the Taken King, it felt like a big turning point. But then you're like, this is great. This is how could they go wrong from here? And then they come out with Rise of Iron, which is everyone's like, oh god, this is back to where we were before. So it's very difficult to think, oh, they've done it, they've changed, and this is a better place for the game and stuff, and it marks a real shift in how things are getting done. It'll either be good or it'll be bad. Either way, it'll be popular because it is the biggest one, and the only downside is that for me as in terms of a product, is you've got to buy the previous 2 expansions to get it, which I guess makes sense if you're involved in the game, you have to have all of it to because inside the game it makes sense, but as outside, as just a product, it's a bit shit that you've got to drop this other amount of money. In order to get the expansion. If you only got it
vanilla, you have to buy the
exactly.
last 2, which means that you'll be paying more than double what you pay for the first one.
And it's a lot of money, and it's like MMO type stuff of having to keep up to date with which is a bit, And
then is this going to be a game that's worthy of what is essentially at this point a £90 price tag?
Yeah, which has got microtransactions in it as well.
Yeah,
loot boxes actually.
Yes, plenty of RNG, plenty of gameplay changing items. So I am probably going to give it a swerve. It just stings a little bit, and I'd probably be giving it a pass. But I'm interested
both skipped Warmind, didn't we? We both skipped Warmind. So yeah. Can I just give you a quick little fun fact before we leave?
Of course you can. Yeah, I'd love that.
Tangled Shore. You said it's like asteroids and you can jump from.
Yeah. Well, so they say. Yeah.
Asteroid fields aren't like that. You know, The Empire Strikes Back, where they're like, oh, dodging all the asteroids, and they're really close.
Well, how are they, Mike?
They're really far apart. They're really miles and miles apart. Like,
so they're probably close if you're looking from miles away. But if you're
but if you get in there, it's actually like you probably won't even see an asteroid if you just flew through one.
Oh, Mike Williams, thank you for the space talk. I'm looking forward to your full book and presentation.
My podcast coming
out soon, September the 4th. No, that's Destiny 2 Forsaken. Cheers very much for watching, guys. Let us know what you think about Destiny 2. If you're still into it, if you've been riding this wave the whole time, you're excited for potentially the rebirth of Destiny 2, why don't you let us know down below. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. There's some more content on the screen right now. Go and check some of that stuff out. There's also a link to our Patreon if you want to support the channel. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, you guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.